كتب الله لنا هو مولانا وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون.
وما يتعلق به فيدخل في ذلك الإيمان بأشراط الساعة وأماراتها, and all informations that come in, including the preface to the occurrence of the last day itself. Preface as includes the Ashura to Sa'a, the signs of the last hour, is part of the event of the last day, the event of the last hour. That we believe in it. Will not be among those that disagree, reject, deny. Oh, that will not be the last day. There will not be the last day. Some will even go to the extent of saying that, oh, even from the time of their grandfathers, people have been saying that there is going to be the last day. And up until now, we are still living. Allah says, "Sanurihim ayatina fil afaq wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haqq." Allah says, our signs will bring it to them. They will see it at the horizon until the truth becomes clear and conspicuous, imminent to them. The signs of the fact that the last day is near abounds. Even in space, even in our lives. To the degree that we knew how old earlier generations were living. But today, we understand what the mortality rate has been. So a lot of signs are with us. So believing in the last day means believing in all these events, including the preface to the last day itself, Wabilimot. It also includes believing in death. Of course, no one would detest that there is death. People are dying around us. And we know that these people that died are not coming back. So these are some of the things, including the fitnatul qabr. When you die, you will be buried. There is chastisement in the grave. We need to believe in that. Wadabuhu, the punishment therein. Wana'imuhu, the benefit, the favor in the grave. Wabinafakh bisur. We need to as well believe in the blowing of the trumpet. The trumpet will be sounded to signify the commencement of the last hour. Khurujul khala'iq min al-qubur, that humankind will be raised from their graves. Wal jaza wal hisab. Believe in reward, believe in accountability. And also awalul qiyamah. And also the torment, the upheaval, the crisis of that day. The turmoil of that day. Believing in it as part of the things that will happen on that day. وَنَشْرُ الصُّحُفِ, and the spreading out of the scroll, your register, your book of accounts of what you did in life. All this, believing in them, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring them on the day of judgment. وَوَضُعْ الْمَوَازِينَ, the establishment of the weighing point, the establishment of the scale, where all deeds shall be weighed. وَبِالصِّرَاطِ, believing in the bridge, the tiny bridge. وَالْحَوْض, believing in the pond that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give opportunity for believers to drink from, the pond of life to drink from on the day of judgment, that the Prophet ﷺ have said, whoever drank from that, whoever drinks from that will never know thirstiness forever. وَالشَّفَاعَةِ, part of the event of the day of judgment is to believe in the intercession that the Prophet ﷺ will intercede for his ummah, and other levels of intercession that will come up. Believing in Jannah, believing in paradise, that paradise exists, believing in the enjoyment in paradise, believing in hellfire that it exists, and believing as well in the chastisement in the hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all from that. When we talk about Yawm al-Qiyamah or Al-Yawm al-Akhir, it has several other names by which it is called. And it is also said that when a matter has several names, it talks about its essence, the importance. The Day of Judgment has several names, and among these names, we can point out to about 23 here, which are among the names of the Day of Judgment. Among them, the name of the Day of Judgment is called As-Sa'a, that is the hour, the last hour. It is also called Yawmul Qiyamah, the day of standing, because that day will be standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, it's called Yawmul Wa'id, the promised day. You know, the day that you have been promised that it will come. That the unbelievers do trouble the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reveal Surah An-Nabai. Allah says, Amma yatasa'alun. About what do they question? And in Nabai al-Azim, about that great news. Alladhi hum fihi mukhtalifun. Therein that they are differed over that. The 4th is Yawmuddin, the day of reward. Yawmuddin, the day that people that did good will receive good reward. The day that those that did evil, bad, wrongdoings will earn the reward that is in tandem with the action. Yawmul Hashra, the day of resurrection, when people will be resurrected, will be raised up. It's also called Adarul Akhirah, the last abode. The last abode. That's the 6th. The 7th, Yawmul Jamr, the day of gathering. The day of gathering. Yawmul Fasli, the day of separation. Yawmul Hisab, the day of accountability, the day of evaluation, measurement. Yawmul Khulud, the day of perpetuation, the day that you stay at a place, at the abode, therein you perpetuate. That is, an everlasting, the day of an everlasting abode. That's Yawmul Khulud. When you enter there, you stay there forever. Yawmul Khuruj, the day of gushing out. That it will be the day that will go out to meet our Lord. It's also Yawmut Talaq, the day that you meet one another. You know, the day that you meet one another. Father meets children, children meet father, and each and every one of us will also be running away from one another because of what we have done in life, that you know the secret will be open today. And it's also called Al-Haqqa, the truth. It's also called Al-Waqi'ah, Al-Waqi'ah, the events that happen, the happenings, the reality that is happening, the reality. It's also called As-Sakha. It's also called At-Tammatul Kubira, Al-Qari'ah, and Yawmul Ba'as, and El-Ghashiyah. These are some of the names that the day of judgment is known. Yawmul Ba'as, the day of resurrection, that people will be raised. El-Qari'ah, this is a day of turmoil, where crisis, things will be happening, different happening, and there will be crisis really. At-Tammatul Kubra, the great event, you know, and El-Ghashiyah, the enveloping happening, you know, the happening that's quite engrossing, that when it engrosses you, you basically cannot think about any other thing except that engrossment. So these are some of the names that is for the Day of Judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even from the name itself, is quite, you know, it creates shivering and, you know, a tremor in one's. And basically, it is the sign of faith in one. When you hear that, and you tremble for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that is a sign of a believer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the truth, believe, true, full faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to basically be among those that will be granted success on that day. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those that will be profited on the Day of Judgment positively, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the calamity of that day, count us among inmates of paradise, and save us from the wrath, his wrath in hellfire. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
قل لن يصيبنا إلا ما كتب الله